This is Andi Purewal for ID Boxing. I'm joined by former WBO World Cruiserweight Champion Johnny Nelson in the immediate aftermath of Liam Smith's victory against Hassan Mwakinyo. Johnny, straight into it. What did you make of that main event?
I think you quit. I think if you've got quit in you, it's hard to shake. Liam was aware of that because he sparred with him before. That's why he was confident, cool, putting the pressure on, hoping the quit wouldn't appear. I know it's disrespectful and hard to say that about a fighter, but he quit. I'm an ex-fighter. I know when a fighter quits. There's nothing wrong with him. And the problem is, he's actually a talented fighter. But if you've got it in you, and if it's acceptable within your head to do it, you're going to do it. And sometimes you do it when you don't want to do it. It's like jumping on the floor with a body shot, and then someone touches you on the body. It doesn't hurt as much, but you still go down. And he just quit. And that was it. And I feel for Liam because he wanted to put on a show here in Liverpool. But that's just how it was.
I asked Matt this, I'm going to ask you as well. As a former fighter, you know, the quit word's a strong word to say about anybody. So when you see and you feel that somebody's done that, what are your thoughts personally?
That's why I'm saying, if you're fought, you can say it because you recognise it. If you haven't fought, you've no right to say it because you don't know what it takes to step in the ring and actually do that. But a fighter knows it's a code of honour. You just see it. You recognise it in some fighters, and my man bullshitted his way through that and he quit. He actually was doing pretty well. I actually said to Andrew Crawler, Liam needs to be careful that because he knows he's got the beating of this guy, he's let the guy win the rounds. So he needs to be careful. But obviously Liam knew that if he just kept the pressure on him, he'd eventually catch up to him, or he'd quit. And he knew that as well.
Johnny, what would you like to see next for Liam on the back of tonight?
Sorry?
What next for Liam on the back of tonight?
Well, of course, Liam, obviously there was talk of him fighting Eubank or Charlo's around. You know, he wants somebody. But he said, look, I just want to fight. You know, and he's willing to do that. So the opportunity there. Will it be avoided by the likes of the winner of Eubank and Ben? Probably. Will his name be mentioned? Probably not. So for him, he'll just do what works for him. He'll just take up any opportunity that comes for him.
Tasha Jonas becoming a unified champion. Johnny, what did you make of her performance? Boxed
really well, intelligently, squared her off, walked her down, was fast enough, sharp enough to southpaw style work for her. And on paper, this was a good 50-50, if not leaning towards her opponent. So she did really well.
Moving away from Tasha, onto Azim. Again, showing that lightning speed and power. What did you make of him, Johnny?
Adam, badass. I rate him. I've seen Stardust, and this young man, he trains he prepares like a world champion. He does everything expected. You'd expect a fighter to do, and so in doing that at this stage in his career, he'd actually blitz the domestic level. So so if you're going to fight him at this level, make sure you get your house in order.
A strange main event, a strange fight for Frazer Clarke as well. What did you make of his outing?
It wasn't his fault, and unfortunately, you can lit it in boxing, especially with the heavyweights. The first half a dozen fights of a heavyweight about getting him out, getting him to showcasing him, and Frazer was frustrated because he thinks, I've trained all this time for this guy, he'll come across another one. And the guy was unbeaten. You know, on paper he looked the part, but when he got hit once hard and heavy, you know, he crumbled. And so it was about an outing to get Frazer out there to see the rest of Frazer.
You have that British title fight as well between Azeez and Shakan Peters. Again, Johnny, what was your thoughts?
Azeez got Peters to fight his kind of fight. Peters made the fight harder for himself. You know, he should have used his height, used his reach, used those long levers. But Dan did the right thing in talking him into a fight, talking him into his style of fight.
Johnny, I know there's a lot of people waiting to talk to you now, so I'm going to wrap this up and leave you to shoot off and sort them out. Thank you.
Nice one.